What is good, you guys, and welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe video. And today is going to be a guide breakdown video. Now, today I want to go over some beginner-friendly advice for the newer players and newer members of my community. A lot of you guys are constantly asking me questions, and I thought, what best way to help you guys out in in a wide margin than just answering every individual question. And we're gonna start out with a deep dive on Cecil on the Gda Ops. Now I'm going to claim all of my Gda Ops just so I can get my people back. I probably shouldn't have clicked that one, my bad. But yeah, I'm gonna claim all my stuff for the most part. So we're gonna claim this one. We're gonna claim these guys over here. And you have to understand this too when it comes to these event missions and stuff like that. There's always gonna be well, not always, but there's gonna most of the time be like an event op that's going on. And when the event ops are going on, you gotta also remember you have to have strong characters for those too. So sometimes, you might prioritize the event op instead of like your standard GDA op. So that's another factor too. So sometimes, you might not be able to run the perfect team for every single event, for every single GDA op, but you'll definitely be able to run a decent one. I'm going to probably try to show you guys at least two teams. I'm going to show you the best team for each one, and then I'm going to show you a good team for each one. Now, I'm going to have to sadly lose out on this card because I didn't mean to restart this. But let's get into it. Okay. The first one we're going to go over is turning up the heat. The GDA mission for turning up the heat is a beginner mission basically built around how to get you gold. Now, if I'm being totally honest, this isn't really a GDA mission that you're going to really have to worry about too much. You mainly only use this mission here for two things. One, for your achievements, because there is a achievement here, or progress, whatever you want to call it, that does allow you to do the mission a few times. Trying to see if I can find it here. Here it is, turning up the heat. As you see, if I complete the mission 3,000 times, I get 100 gems, and I get 15 million gold. So other than that, that's like the only real reason that you're going to be doing that mission. And then also for your daily mission, you have to complete, 5 GDA ops. And being that that's one of the GDA ops that has the shortest timer, that's the only reason you would be running this op. And for the most part, you don't really need to put anything crazy in here. Now, if you want to maximize how much you can get out of it, I mean, there are good teams and, teams that you can do. But for the most part, you don't really need to worry about it too much, who you're putting in here. I would just recommend, maybe 2 GDA characters. And I wouldn't recommend putting your best people in here by any chance. So maybe like a Black Samson, a Duplicate, and then just throw in some filler so you can come over here, or you can just go to maybe the criminals and see which criminals you're not using. So for me, I don't usually use Komodo. I don't usually use Iguana or King Lizard. So I can just throw those two in there. And then let's see, maybe we can scrape around someone else, like Bulletproof, like that team right there. Cool, whatever. Let them go cook. Let them go do that mission for me. Now, training game. Now this mission is a little bit more important. Well, not a little bit more. It's very important. Blue XP is very needed. It's probably the one that's most needed half the time because you use it so much often. Now, when you look at this, you're going against a Mark, every single person here is a human, basically, besides robot, which means that Anissa is very useful in this situation. Now, what I've come to know that is two methods for this GDA op. First method that most people use is they use an Anissa or they use a General Krieg. The reasoning they use one of those two options is because an Anissa counters all humans, lowering their defense, making it easier to kill them, meaning you get higher waves. Using a General Krieg, you're basically hoping to summon an Anissa so she can lower the humans' defenses, basically allowing you to complete higher waves, but you use the General Krieg because you're already using the Nissa elsewhere, if that makes sense. Because most people aren't going to build two Anissas for the most part. Now, if you have the resources to do that and you can build two Anissas, one maybe take two exceptional levels and the one you just use at a minuscule level for GDA Ops, you can probably do that and it'll be efficient enough for you. But if you're going to do the route for using the General Krieg, because I would recommend that one instead of the Anissa route, because you need Anissa for a different one, I would say if you're going to use the General Krieg, I would say go General Krieg, and then you can go someone alongside him. You would want to put an invader, so then you would come over here. And this is one thing that you can utilize too. Most people don't utilize this. If you want if you want to look at specific characters and really plan it, I'm looking for an invader. So you're gonna come over here, gonna scroll and look around. Invaders right there. Bam. Now I can see all the invaders, and I can pick and choose who do I think fits this team best. And you know what? I think it works for me, and I think it makes sense for me to use not conquest. A Flaxinator. Flaxinator has a rare usage of increasing the resources I earn through my GDA ops when fighting against humans. And majority of the people in here are human. So that works for me. Now, because I'm already using the two World Beyond, that's it. I got the General Krieg that I needed. He's going to be able to hopefully summon the Anissas that I want. So now, what do? I will come over here and use whoever else. Those are the two big bads that are going to make me do the best for the mission. Now, I can lean into it, and I can go, alright, well, let me use someone like Space Racer. Let me use someone like maybe, because I have Viltrumite, who's going to summon a Viltrumite. That's two Viltrumites, plus the Invincible that's going to be on the other team, most likely. Maybe I use Stula in this situation. And then maybe I use a Lucan or a Rust Livingston, because Rust Livingston, you know, is good against humans. I could use something along those lines, something like that. But once again, that's going down the route of using the General Krieg to hopefully get the Anissas, so the Anissas nerf the humans to make you get higher waves. Alright, sorry about that. So, like we were talking about, this is just a ragtag team. This isn't like, oh, this is the best team. No, this is just a ragtag team. This is just to give you an example. Because for most GDA missions, you don't need a full... It's not like you're building a full team. You're building around either anywhere from 2 to 3 characters. I would say you're usually just building around those people to make their abilities stand out. That's basically usually what you're doing. So this is, like I said, you're building basically around the General Krieg and the factor of getting more resources out of the Flaxinator. And then you're using World Beyond because World Beyond counters GDA, which everybody here is pretty much GDA besides Mark and Adam Eve. But then you also got to understand that the Mark and Adam Eve are going to do good against your GDA. The same way if you use a criminal team, the GDA characters are going to do good against your... The GDA characters are going to do good against your criminals in theory. So like I said, you could use something like this. You could definitely use better characters if you wanted to. Like I can definitely plug in. Maybe I could definitely plug in like a no, like a Nolan, and maybe still do the Thula or a Lucan, or once again, like I said, he's really good against humans, so you could use him. You could definitely do any type of form of the sword, right? But what I personally use is a criminal team. I use Powerplex. I use where is he? Um, Dinosaurus. And then I use my Mauler twins and one more range Mauler twin. And I use this team like this. And I have the Mauler tag artifacts on the Powerplex and the Dinosaurus. And doing it this way, I'll put it to battle so you can see. Doing it this way, every single person on the team has the Mauler tag. And Powerplex gives all of the three Maulers the extra damage boost from being Technologist. And then Komodo Dragon, because of him being because of him having the Mauler tag, he also benefits from this. A better person to use if you have him more built for this situation. I like Dinosaurus because I think Dinosaurus is a more durable heavy hitting heavy taking like heavy hit taking character. I think he's more durable. In other words, I said that, but I just still try to explain. Dinosaurus would be better. My once again my Komodo Dragon is just higher, so I use him for that reason. But Dinosaurus would be better in this situation with the Mauler tag artifact because of the fact that he is a technologist, so he would get the boost as well from the Powerplex. So this would actually be a better team to use if your Dinosaurus is the higher one out of your Dinosaurus and your Komodo Dragon. You definitely can use the what's his name? The Dinosaurus too. Like if I come over here and I add where is it? And I add this to my Dinosaurus, right? Now my Dinosaurus, if I come back to this mission, now he's getting the increase in physical defense, the increase in physical attack, the increase in energy attack, the increase in energy defense. Now he's getting all the benefits of a Mauler because of this thing. Another thing to mention, you can put auto on specific GDA missions, but be careful which ones you put it on because sometimes the auto hurts you more than it helps you. So like for example, I'm going to put the auto on this one, and when the mission is over, I'll show you how much we earned. And then I'll turn the auto off and then do it like that. When I have the two pictures, I'll put them side by side. Because there's a big difference between auto and no auto sometimes. Like for Universa, you wouldn't want to use auto. There's really no point because she just does so much damage. There's no point to do it. For when you're beating waves super, super quickly, there's really no point to do auto. But when you're struggling in waves, or you know there's a point at a time in the wave where you will start hitting a brick wall, then it's useful to have the auto. But if you have the auto on early, what it does is it wastes a lot of your time, and you don't get as far as you normally would, if that makes sense. So, like I said, those are two good teams. Once again, the main goal is to build a team around either General Krieg, so he can summon a Nissa, and you would build that team around him using World Beyond characters, or a mixture of World Beyond characters and maybe some criminals, or building around a Powerplex with the Maulers to synergize with that. You can also use the Maulers in other teams if you do happen to use the General Krieg in this one. Now for Downtown Destruction, the best team for Downtown Destruction is very simple. Now I'm going to show you the best team to run for it. But then once again, you can do other forms of teams. I'm just showing you the best ones. The best team for this would be a Universa, a Nissa, and then you're gonna do 3 level 1 Olivers. This is the best team to use. Now, you can take one of the Olivers out and use the Space Racer, because Space Racer would work in this situation too, because he does do a lot of damage. But I would say rather keep your Space Racer, hold on to him. Only because you can use him in another mission, but this one is a good one if you want to use him. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, you definitely can use him in this one if you wanted to, but right here, I would use him for this mission, and doing this one, I can tell you right now, this will get you at least 100. If you have like the level that I have, this will get you anywhere from 100,000 pink XP to 150, 100 some change. I get to usually about wave 1,600 to 1,800 and some change. As you see, my max wave is 1,845. And this is the exact team I use. I'm not going to put them in there right now because I'm currently doing training gain and I need them for that. Another team you can do here is because once again you're going against all humans and all criminals. If you didn't use your if you didn't use your General Krieg in the training game, then you can use him here. You will go General Krieg. You would go so let's say you use the criminal to the other one, right? Like I did. You will go General Krieg. You'll go Flaxen Leader. Then you can do maybe Livingston with Thula, and we could throw in maybe Viltrumite Nolan. And that team is what I'll put in here to see what they can pull out. Next, let's get into this mission right here. Alright, so with this mission. Now, this mission isn't that important, to be honest. But I guess if you're a free-to-play player, this is going to be one of the better ways, other than having a good alliance, to get some gear. Now, I think this GDA mission doesn't actually give you good gear for the most part. It's usually just fodder gear to use to try to level up your stuff. And then when you come to who you're battling the original Guardian of the Globe. So most of them are what? GDA, right? I mean, or Earth Defender, right? Yeah, all of them are Earth Defender besides one. So you once again could use criminals in this situation. So you can use something along the lines of, let's say, let me see what criminals we got. We got Komodo Dragon. You could use a Komodo Dragon. If I didn't use my King Lizard and my Iguana in the other mission, I could have used them here. A good combination of two characters that work very well together because of the fact of needing humans is Sinister Mark and Powerplex. Sinister Mark powers himself up every time a human ally dies, and Powerplex obviously clones himself. So if you put Sinister Mark and Powerplex together, Powerplex is constantly charging the battery of damage for Sinister Mark, which this is why I said, once again, if you're using characters in GDA teams, you want to put characters that abilities play off of each other, because you have to remember this isn't a one battle thing. This is going to be a battling over time situation, and they're going to have multiple times to die and come back and stuff like that. So this is something that really benefits for Sinister Mark. Another thing that you can use here is Machine Head, because Machine Head summons 2 humans, plus he summons a battle beast that does some good damage. This is allowing him to have another 2 humans on the field, plus multi-pulse 4 extra humans he summons. That's 6 total extra humans, and then not counting the fact that Komodo Dragon the original Multi-Paw and Machine Head are all listed as humans, which means if they just naturally die outside of their summons, that's another 3 humans. So this is all going to be supercharging this Sinister Mark to do as much damage as he can possibly do. And that's, once again, the goal when you're doing these type of missions. And then for the most part, you can probably just throw another Titan in there, just because, you know, I don't have any other criminals for me personally. But let's say if you wanted to get some extra healing in there or something like that, you could maybe throw in an Angstrom and use the Sinister Mark in the front line. Could do something along like that. Or let's say if I was using the Iguana and the King Lizard, I could have maybe had King Lizard in the back and put the Sinister Mark in the front, something like that. I'm gonna probably do it with the. I'm gonna probably do it with the Titan to give that Sinister Mark as much time to be alive as possible. Yeah, I'm probably do it that way, and that's gonna be the team I use for this. Now, if you don't have these characters, obviously, I'll show you another team you can do with this. Let's say you don't have those characters and you have to make do with, let's just say, Earth Defenders. Now, you don't really want to use Earth Defenders against Earth Defenders, but if you have to, it is what it is. You can definitely use Blue Suit Mark and Adam Eve in this type of mission. Blue Suit Arc and Adam Eve would be very well together because Blue Suit Mark needs that little bit of shielding. And for most people put Blue Suit Mark in their front line. If you have to put him in the front, then fine. But Blue Suit Mark works a lot better in the back because it allows him not to have someone that's targeting him directly while he's able to do some damage and charge himself up. Because Blue Suit Mark is kind of like a, how can I say? He's kind of like a, what? Like a jackhammer. You need a little bit of time to charge him up before he starts to, or a better example would be a chainsaw that, you know, you need to pull it and pull it and pull. You need a little time to charge him up, a little bit of charging him up before he starts to really do his damage. So that's where I would say works for him the best. You can use those two. You can use a armored Adam Eve if you have her. If you don't have her, then the next best thing would be a most likely an Omni-Man as the direct middle line, but he doesn't have the best health, so sometime maybe a OG Mark because of his shielding he gives himself. The only thing I don't like about putting OG Mark in the middle is that OG Mark dashes away. So whatever people are in the middle, usually they target the person that's in the direct middle. But if he dashes away, then basically the first 2 targets are going to just target the Omni-Man. So that's why I personally don't like putting him in the direct middle. And then you can use someone like a Green Ghost, a Red Rush. Red Rush is really good because Red Rush increases the critical chance of all allies on the team as long as you are battling a singular attacker on the enemy team. So he's also very good for that. You can add an Aquarius, being that you know they have an Immortal. Aquarius is very good because he will remove the Immortal's immunity bubble. And once again, if you're putting them to do this mission, being that this mission is such a long mission, I would recommend putting on auto. For missions like Training Gain and for Downtown Destruction, I wouldn't recommend putting on auto. But like I said, I'm going to actually go with the other team that I had said, the criminal team. I'm going to go with the criminal team, and I am going to put on auto. And we're going to see how that one goes. Now, this mission here is the Reanimen Rampage. Now, Reanimen Rampage is 2 characters, both Reanimen, and what works well against them is World Beyond, obviously, but this also gives you blue XP, pink XP, gold, and even some chips to upgrade your Gda Ops here. So with that being said, you do want to run a decent team in this one. So what I recommend you to do here is Damien Darkblood. This is what I usually use. Damien Darkblood. I would sometimes use Cecil. Lucan as a tank. Because I believe they work together good. Because I don't know. Lucan's not a World Beyond. So no, yeah. You don't. Damon Darkblood only really works well with World Beyond characters. So maybe not Lucan. Maybe Battle Beast with Damon Darkblood. And then you can throw in a Kid Oliver that's leveled up. Otherwise, don't even do it. For me, I can throw in a Kid Oliver because I have him leveled up. And then a Seance Dog for healing. And then now I'm just missing a tank, right? So then maybe we throw in Lucan now. Because we already have everything else. Maybe we throw in a Lucan here. Yeah, maybe we could do that. And once again, you don't want to use your best characters because this isn't one of the better ops. So you want to usually do your best characters that just make sense. So the reason why this team makes sense is because Kid Oliver works well with Not of This Earth characters, and these three characters are Not of This Earth. Anytime, what's his name, Damien Darkblood kills someone on the enemy team, he will heal his Not of This Earth allies. Every time an ally dies, he will increase the attack power of his Not of His Earth allies. So that means increasing his Battle Beast's power. And then Battle Beast is just a really good damage dealer. Seance Dog is one of the best healers in the game. And then Lucan is just there to be a little bit of a defense for the team to take some damage. It's a very easy team to use. It's not that time consuming. So like that. Once again, am I going to say this is the best team you can run for this? Probably not. But it's about efficiency. It's about team building, and it's about skills. And I'm going to show you exactly, once again, what I mean by that. So, for example, Seance Dog right here. His ability, he has to be teamed up with someone that's not of this earth. That's how these abilities work. So you see right here. Not of this earth, the tag. Now, where is he? Lucan is Lucan is not of this earth, but he is a Viltrumite, and he has decent abilities here. Nothing that synergizes well with that team, but we're using him simply because he's World Beyond. So we're getting the 5-character thing. Right here for Battle Beast, every time a Not of This Earth ally, he'll heal them. Like I was just saying about the skills. You want to use these things because of the skills. Like here, he gives the team extra healing when there's a last line of defense. So maybe we can find a last line of defense ally here. But I believe all last line of defense allies are, those characters right there. So I would say if you're not going to use the Lucan to get the 5-hero team up here, you can use the Battle Beast, you can use the Kid Omni-Man, you can use the, where is he? You can use the Seance Dog, and that already gives you that. So now you can use either of the Lucan, or for me, I can use my Armor Adam Eve, which is actually going to work fairly well for my team as well now. Instead of using the Lucan, Armored Adam Eve actually works better, because Armored Adam Eve will be giving my Battle Beast, my Kid Omni-Man, and my Damien Darkblood a shield. And this is what I say when I talk about team building and understanding skills. I was going to throw Lucan in here. I went, looked at the skills, saw what the requirements were, and now I found an even better option. This is why I tell you guys all the time, it's good to actually know what skills do, and it's good to actually understand why the skills matter and why they match up. Because now this is going to be better, because I'm going to show you exactly why. Once again, I want to show you and educate you guys on it. This ability right here. At the start of every wave, melee allies gain a shield equal to 420% of Adam Eve's defense. This means every single attacker on her team is going to be getting that shielding boost. So the only person that's not going to get the shield is Seance Dog, but that's fine because Seance Dog gives himself a shield. And then this is also going to mean that every time Damien Darkblood gets a kill, he's going to be healing the entire team. Plus, they already have a shielding that's going to keep them alive even longer. So this is going to make this team do a lot of damage. So I think that's the team we're going to go with for this one. So let's do that. We're going to go once again. Battle Beast, Adam Eve. We're going to go Seance Dog, Oliver, and Darkblood. And that's the team we're going to use for that one. And as you see here, now everybody has the extra healing, everybody has the shielding, and as you see, look, the battle starts and everyone's getting a shield. They're all doing damage, and even some people are getting double shielded because of Seance Dog. And like I said, that's going to be a really good team. Now, artifacts is a whole nother ball game. Because I just realized that too. Artifacts will play a factor in these things. Like, for example, if you're doing training gain, maybe if you're doing training gain and you don't have an Anissa to use for this, well then maybe you can put the Damien Darkblood node artifact on one of your characters that you're doing the mission for to help you do more damage against humans. That's another thing you definitely can do as well. So stuff like that could definitely help you with these Gda ops as well. Now, one of the more important ops, this is heavy. And the reason this is one of the more important ones is this is how you earn the currency to upgrade other ops. So, when you come to here, you're going against pretty much a rare, weird combination. So you're going against 2 GA, 2 World Beyond, 2 Criminals, 3 Earth Defenders. The 3 Earth Defenders is Mark, Adam Eve, and Omni-Man. All last line of defense allies. Then you're going against Immortal and Monster Girl. 2 tanks from the GDA faction. Then you're going against the Mauler Twins. And then you're going against Battle Beast and Alan. Now, for this situation, you are having multiple teams you could probably build here. But because this team is so widely spread, you probably want to go with more of a well-rounded team that's going to be durable but able to put out damage. So, for that reasoning, I would say someone like Omni-Man is really good, because Omni-Man is good against Viltrumites, and there is 2 Viltrumites in this, so every time those 2 Viltrumites come up, he's going to be pretty decent against them. Then another person you can probably use here, because of the Viltrumites, you can probably use Doc Seismic. Now, if I'm being honest, I would probably want to save Doc Seismic for the Well Done mission, but if you aren't doing the Well Done mission, then this is a good one to use him, because then you can also use Alan. Alan and Doc Seismic have a very weird team ability. Like, it's not necessarily something that most people think about, but Alan increases his team's energy attack and energy defense when they're going against World Beyond. And there's 2 World Beyond characters in this mission. So every time you're going against a Battle Beast or another Alan, he is going to be giving the Doc Seismic the ability to do 40% basically more damage. That's a huge boost of damage. Plus, anytime you guys go against Viltrumites, Doc Seismic and Omni-Man are both going to be doing absolute huge amount of damage to them. So that makes it very useful. So yeah, you could do something like that, or if not that, you can do something with the Donald. Donald, once again, is a very, very good character. You can do something with the Donald and take out the Alan, and Donald basically, I forgot what it was. Donald, I think his thing powers up off of, what is it exactly? I'll tell you right now. Where's my Donald? There he is. When alongside a leader, Donald increases his team's defense by 14%. That's good. He gains 10% critical damage boost each time a Cecil secret ally is defeated. And so this is where I would say this comes into play. So if you wanted to build a team for this one, right? And understand that you have to spread this out because we only have 2 slots left if you have as many slots as I have. And there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 different missions. So let's say I want to do the best team here. We're going to go once again. Use the thing that I'm looking for, Cecil Secrets. So Cecil Secrets are right there. Cecil Secrets is Donald is considered a Cecil Secret. Darkwing 2 is considered a Cecil Secret. Conquest is considered a Cecil Secret. And then Damien Darkblood is a Cecil Secret. The Reanimen, I guess, are not Cecil Secrets, or maybe I just don't have any. I believe they are Cecil Secrets, though. I'll do a quick check real fast. I believe they are Cecil Secrets. Where is it? Yes, they are Cecil Secrets. So, because they're Cecil Secrets, you can also use Cecil in this mission. You can use Cecil here. So you can do some type of team like this. You can do a Donald. You can put Donald in the back. Donald actually works kind of good as a tank in a way. But you can do Donald in the back or in the side, whatever you want to do. Then you can do Cecil. I recommend having Cecil in the front line. So maybe do them both in the front line. And the reason why I like having Cecil in the front line is he can teleport up to 5 times if you have his ability upgraded. So, and each time he teleports is how he actually heals his team. So you need him to teleport in order for him to heal his team. So I like using him in the front. You can use those 2 right there, right? Then you can throw in a Conquest if you want to. Throw in a Conquest. Conquest with the Cecil Secret tag. That's 2 Cecil Secrets. So, and then when Cecil summons Reanimen, the Reanimen are going to be considered Cecil Secrets as well. So now at this stage, you have 2 GDA, 1 World Beyond. And the only other person with a Cecil Secret tag is Darkwing 2. And I wouldn't recommend using him because he's not that good. So then what we're going to do is we're going to pivot to using another GDA character. He also gets a team up. He also gets a power up when playing alongside a leader, right? So you can use a robot. You can use a immortal. You can use, I believe, attacking robot is still considered a leader. So you can use that type of character. Cecil is, I'm already pretty sure, a leader. And Conquest also plays well with a leader tag. So you want to have that leader person on the team. I'm thinking we can either do one of 2 things. When you have a Cecil on your team, you want to feed him by having good and strong characters. So, I'm thinking you can either put in another Immortal to give him more people that when he summons Reanimen, they're going to be the Reanimen is going to be strong. Or I'm thinking Robot and the Life Pod Robot, and swapping their positions like this, because then what's going to happen here is the Life Pod Robot, when he pops his damage increasing bubble, it's going to touch that Donald, making that Donald do even more damage. And once again, you're basically building this entire team around the Donald and the Cecil while putting people that you know work well with them. So this is a very good squad here. Once again, this is how you team build, understanding the abilities. And this team right here can do some real damage. And now the only thing that's going to suck about this, I have to wait until all of these are done to see the results of what we actually get from these missions and these teams I'm building, you guys. Now, for this one, I personally won't lie to you. I don't usually do this mission because it's for 3 of some of the worst artifacts in the game. So I usually just don't do this mission. If you want to build a team for this mission, you basically can build whatever you like because this mission has such a wide variety of characters. And I will say again, because there are so many humans in this mission, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 humans in this mission. Anissa is good for this mission. I would definitely 100% tell you not to use your Anissa for this mission. This is not an important mission. But yes, you can definitely use an Anissa in this mission, and she will help. I'm personally not going to run this mission. Here for that mission. Now, the best team for this mission right here would be Anissa. This is the best squad for this mission. Anissa, Kid Omni-Man level 1, a level 1 Kid Omni-Man, Space Racer, Universa, and then this slot right here should be Cecil. You should have a Cecil there. And that's the best mission. That's the best characters to use for that particular mission. For the Schooled Out mission. That's the best team to run for that one. Ops is going to be this mission right here. Now, this mission right here, you are going against World Beyond. And you're going against only 5 of them. You're going against Russ Livingston, Battle Beast, Alan, Martian Man, and Universa. Now, there's 2 teams you can do for this. Universa is the biggest problem in this team, so you can go Universa counter option. You can go a Universa counter option to kill the Universe quickly. And the Universa counter option would be Mark, Doc Seismic, OG Mark, Omni-Man, or Alan. Omni-Man or Alan. You definitely do Alan instead for a tank option. And then Agent Spider. Now, the reason this is the best team for a Universa counter team is because Agent Spider is going to grab the Universa and pull her in. He's going to uppercut her, dealing a huge amount of damage to her and stunning her for 1 second. Before that second is even up, Doc Seismic is going to go whoosh and fly away, stunning her again and lowering her defense. And that time that he does that, the OG Mark is going to come dashing back here and start attacking her because he's going to go after the person with the highest attack. Which means that the Mark and the Agent Spider are going to both be doing damage on her, wailing on her. So with that being said, it definitely is a good counter to Universa, making it that Universa is going to die so fast, meaning your team is going to constantly be able to do some real damage. Now, that's one team that you can use, and that's all based around countering the Universa. Now, another good team you can use would be Alan, Doc Seismic, with Shapesmith for some healing. Then you would want to use what's his name? Blue Suit Mark and Rex. This is another good team you can do. And the reason this is a good team is Rex does damage against invaders, which the Russ Livingston and the Universa are, I believe, both considered invaders. If you come down here and you look at the invader tag, yeah. I believe Russ Livingston and Universa are. Yeah, Russ Livingston and Universa are both invaders. So that considers his boost and burn damage. He does extra burn damage just like that. And then Shapesmith has his Not of This Earth team up between him and Alan. Alan is giving a damage power up attack boost to the Doc Seismic and the Rex Blode. And then Mark is going to be doing some real damage against the Battle Beast and the other characters. But he's also there mostly to apply his life leech ability and his attack boost to his entire team. So this is another good team you can run here. Now, I'm trying to think which would be the better team to do. You definitely don't want to use too many Viltrumites in this one because then you're going to be cranking up the enemy's Battle Beast. But this is a really good team to do too. And if you wanted, like, let's say you're not using a Rex because you don't have a Rex that's built, you can definitely use Universa here as well if you're not using her already in the Downtown Destruction mission. And yeah, that's what I would recommend for this mission. I would definitely recommend this team right here. So I'm gonna do it with I'm gonna do it with the Rex so you guys can see it this way. And then once this is all over, I'm gonna show you guys the teams. So we use this team for downtown destruction, I believe it was. And as you see, my General Krieg did summon the Anissa, so that is gonna be good for me. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, for this mission in particular, I'm going to let that one finish out. And when that one's over, I'm going to take a screenshot of the results on that one. I'm going to take a screenshot of that one. And then I'm going to put my other original team that I use. And I'm going to take a screenshot of that one to show you the difference in between the teams. And you'll see, which team is better, obviously. But then you'll see that both teams get results. And I'm going to do that for pretty much all of these. I'm going to do that. So it's going to take me a little while to get this video up. But this is my deep dive guide. Now, and the last thing I would do want to cover before we wrap this up is the leveling up system of the Gda Ops. So, for the leveling system, once again, to get these these green little access card thingies, to be able to rank up the missions, you have to do the this is heavy. The this is heavy is going to give you the most of them. And the Reanimen rampage, those are the only two that give you those currencies. And you can use those currencies to level up your missions. Now, as far as am I concerned, I don't think you should rank up turning up the heat too much. I think I have it at level like 8 or 9. I wouldn't put it beyond that because you don't want to increase how much time the mission takes. Because yes, by increasing it, you are going to see more results. But then at the same time, if you ever need to do a mission quickly, this will hinder you. And once again, I don't think this mission is really that good to get gold anyways. So I wouldn't rank this up too much. Now, Training Gain and Downtown Destruction are your most important missions. So I would rank those as high as you could possibly get them. I stopped at 24 and 25 because I just been waiting to get enough that I can get them straight to 30. So I will be boosting them to 30 very soon. The same thing with the gear one. The gear one, the more you boost it up, the better the gear you're gonna get. But this is a last resort situation, in my opinion, because the hero XP is definitely more important. So you should definitely focus on boosting the hero XP missions first, and also giving some love to your this is heavy mission, because the this is heavy mission is how you earn the currency. So you definitely want to boost that one up too. So I would say your game plan should be boost up this is heavy to maybe level 10 first, get it to like level 10. Once you get it to level 10, and then you're able to start racking up some of that currency to boost up your other missions, get your Training Gain and your Downtown Destruction to like level 15. And then once you get those two to level 15, boost up your this is heavy to maybe around like the 20 margin, get it to like 20, 21 in between there. And then once you get it to that point, then whatever currency you build up after that, just pump it all into Training Gain and Downtown Destruction. And then down the line, you can start building up Well Done. Well Done is a newer mission, so it was a lot down the line that you were able to get the Well Done mission. So I had a lot of currency build up. Like as you see, I have 3.5 million. So I can build up a lot of these missions if I want to. But those are the only 3 missions I recommend actually building outside of this is heavy, because obviously you need the currency from this is heavy. Downtown Destruction and Training Gain and Well Done are the only ones I really recommend boosting up. After you boost those 3 up to at least level 20 and beyond, you're like golden. That's pretty good. If you wanted to move on to another one. And if you wanted to move on to another one, the next one I would recommend after those are all 3 at 20, after all those are 20, then I would recommend boosting up the Guardian of the Globe one that gives you the gear. Only because then it's worth it, because if you get that one to maybe around the 15-20 mark, then maybe you might see more seismic armor, you might see more omnipotent armor, you might see, more armor of that rarity, which can definitely help a free-to-play account, because seismic armor is good, even though some people like to poop on it and they only want omnipotent. Seismic armor is still good. Seismic plus armor is still very good if you are a free-to-play player. But I wanted to cover that because some people might not even know that you can rank these missions up. So I definitely wanted to cover that for that reason. But with that being said, once again, that is going to be all for this mission. For this video. I hope this video helped you guys. I'm sorry for how long it is. I know there's nothing I can really do about that. What if I'm explaining everything? But thank you for this video watch, and if it helped you, please leave a like and comment down below and let me know if it helped you or not, or if I could explain something better, or if there was any questions that maybe I missed in this video, so that way I can maybe answer them in the comments and maybe somebody else has the same question that you're asking. So don't feel like any question is a dumb question. Um, and yeah, I really do hope this helped you guys. And as far as the pictures go, I'm gonna put the pictures at the end of the video of each mission and the team that was used, because I have to wait till they're actually completed. So you'll probably be seeing those right about now. And that's the results of the missions, so you can see them from yourself. But once again, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have been giving me, and stay true to yourself. Peace and love, baby. Peace.